My name's Dawn Lippiett. I'm an installation artist and I've made Chasement Custody, which is a sculpture made of ice that melts slowly outside Green Park Station. The work went up this morning and I found a lot of people very interested, very curious about what it is, how it's made. I didn't used to enjoy showing my work in the public arena. I felt as though I was the one who was on show. When I realised I wasn't, then I could actually take a step back, and I do. I really find people's reactions really interesting. There are people that walk past pretending not to look, which I always think is really interesting. And then there's others that really have no idea or don't even notice it, so it's a real mixed reaction. What I liked about Illuminate was that they actually wanted to do different types of arts, not just visual art, but jazz and theatre, and I like that. I like when the arts come together.
I'm Jessica Beale, and I came up with the idea for my work by reading a Salman Rushdie book called The Satanic Verses, and in it there was a quote of the artificial cinematic night, which I thought was quite interesting. I wanted to do something that was mainly about light, and so it seemed an obvious choice. And then I came up with the idea of just filming a wall and then projecting that image exactly back at the wall, on the wall, but at night, so it would be like projecting day onto night. I think everyone that's done it has learnt quite a lot about it, and it's sort of been my first experience as being part of a festival, so do something that's sort of out and about. I think it's definitely a good idea. It's really good to have a sort of opportunity to sort of work out of university and just sort of around Bath. It's been really interesting.
About 2 years ago I was sent a script by an English lecturer at Bath Spa that I'd never met before, called Elizabeth Wright, and she had recently finished her PhD on Virginia Woolf and Vanessa Bell and had adapted a novel of the same name, Vanessa and Virginia, by Susan Sellers. It covers two very dramatic, colourful life stories of these two sisters, Virginia Woolf, the novelist, and Vanessa Bell, the post-impressionist artist. And what's remarkable about the play is that it actually spans the story from age 4 or 6, the sisters are 2 years apart in age, to age 60. So in an hour and a half, it takes in quite a roller coaster of their life stories.
What does that count for? Mother doesn't know as much as father. She doesn't read as much.
I think using multimedia and using the backdrop of Vanessa Bell's artwork and Duncan Grant's artwork, it really kind of creates a bubble around that world, because it's all the art and the colours and the atmosphere of the scenes. So even though it's a very, it's set in the 1900s, it brings a different slant onto the production. So it's not sort of a traditional theatre piece. It's more abstract.
So the inspiration came from the idea of old films and how they disintegrate through time. I decided to use this 1903 Alice in Wonderland because of how old it is, and that the images is really interesting. I watched the film, and then as I'm watching the film I take photos as it's playing, and then I look back on the photos and see which images stand out the most. And I picked these images because it's not obviously Alice in Wonderland. I didn't want to kind of narrate the film, I just wanted a moment in the film. It takes, I think each one took about 8 hours to write over. I do a lot of things in series, so you've got the 3 images, so it's the series, and so I decided to have the 3 television screens kind of just aiming at one image. And then I wanted the light from the TV screen to kind of light up the picture, like the flickering. And then as people go in and kind of walk past, they create kind of shadows and things over the images. It's kind of given us, that other artists kind of focus on doing something for the community rather than just doing things for ourselves. It's a good opportunity for us to kind of get our work out there.